or someone would ask me the other day, she's like, what are you going to do when you actually find someone really similar to you? Would you get along? I was like, gosh, no, no way.
All right, welcome back to our studio. Take two, new camera. Yeah, we're back. Let's run it.
Ready to go.
So, Sam, I know that you've been looking for a car. So, in your pursuit of a car, what are you looking at? Like, what catches your eye in the car?
Start off with buying a car is a stressful thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit, like there's so many different ways you can do it. I guess the main things I'm looking for in a car. Look, there was two main cars I was going to go with. It's either going to be like a bigger one or a small one. Like pretty
Bigger or smaller?
pretty simple, right? So I always wanted like a bigger car. Fit the surfboards in the back and go off-road a little bit easier. Like you can fit a mattress in there too. So, I feel like we're doing quite a few more adventurous things. It would be quite handy to be able to sleep in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And so that was like one main reason. It's obviously like the space was a big part, but then I kind of started looking more like, what am I actually going to use the car for? And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I can do all of the above in a smaller car anyway. So then it started to get like that way up between like, is it worth getting a more expensive car, which is bigger, or should I just get a smaller car which can do the same things, but it doesn't feel that want of, I want like a big boy toy.
Yeah.
And I mean, a few things come into it too, like fuel efficiency. Like just driving around, 90% of my day is going to be driving around like, little suburban streets of the North Shore and around the city. So it's so much easier having like a little micro car. It's not a micro car, but like let's say for example, like the ones I was comparing. Yeah. It's like the Hyundai i30, or like a Hyundai Tucson, which is like the bigger like SUV type.
There's a big difference in those two in terms of sizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also like a smaller car, those parkings is so much easier, especially in the city or anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you always see a park, and like I know big boy cars is you have to keep going forward, but the small car you can at least try. Big boy car you're just like no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. And like for me, there was that way up between like, okay, like is the extra money, because there is quite a big money investment in going for like an SUV type car. Like let's say for example I'm aiming for something around like 15 grand for a smaller car. For like the equivalent like mileage on like an SUV type car, you're looking to pay at least like 25 to 30 grand. So it's like, from what I can research anyway, but like to me that's a pretty big difference. Like, it's a difference between, having the money for like another investment thing, or like burning through like a lot of savings just to get the thing that you want. And I'm like, well, we've been trying to practice a lot of things, and for me one of them is trying to, a little bit of detachment from these materialistic things.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of those like classic examples of like what I need versus like what I want.
Yeah. It's a very mature way of approaching it, and it's true. Like I think probably 95% of the time with a car you just need it to get you from A to B. You don't need a car that's going to climb a rock. Like, you're not going to be climbing a rock in your car.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I think that fuel efficiency probably goes such a long way in terms of savings too. Like you don't really notice it too much like on the year by year paying, but I reckon if you like put a graph up like 10 year of like fuel that like you pay for in a smaller car compared to a less fuel efficient car, like the graph would be like this bang, like it'll just be such a difference.
And like there's the fuel side of it too. But it's something like realistically, like how much of the percentage of the time are we going to be using it for those things that we want to actually go out and do it for? Like let's say for example, one of the big instances that came to my mind was we were bush stuff coming up, and I was like, hey, there you go, I can sleep in the back of my car for that. I'm just like, mate, I'm going to be in a state I can sleep anywhere, anytime. Like as long as it's like a little dark corner. Like throw a piece of paper on me and I'll be fast asleep. So I'm like, well, like, realistically, there's really not that many times that I'll have to use it for those things that I wouldn't be able to do anyway in a small car. Like, I can fit surfboards in because I can put all the seats down. I can like make up a much smaller mattress if I really need to. If I really want to sleep on a mattress in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I've slept in much more rogue places and had no problem at all. So it's
Like how often does someone sleep in a mattress in a car? Like, I can't say I've ever slept in a mattress in a car. Unless like.
Yeah, I've never done it.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've never done it either, now I think about it. But it'd be handy to have.
Yeah.
You know, like, who's not saying that, you know, we're not going to go camping in, you know, a couple of weeks' time. It'd be nice to... But if you go on camping, you're using a tent, like...
you sleep...
Oh, you're not really camping,
you sleep out. I guess maybe, like, a van fest, that's like... I saw people sleeping on mattresses in cars, but, like... It's usually... I think in a van, it's different. Because it's a van.
And there's way more space. Like if you're sleeping in a car, you really don't want to be doing it that many days in a row.
No.
And I mean, yeah. It depends, like, is there going to be someone else in the car? Because, like, if it's just you, you're going to be fine in a small car anyway.
Yeah.
It's just if there's two people...
Will there be two people?
Don't know, my friend. Don't know. I'm not giving you the answers that I know you're looking for.
In the next shower thought.
Oh, gosh. I'm not ready. That's my question next, buddy. But it's like I'm still like sieving through like the way to do it. But I mean, the tricky part about buying the car is like which way do I go about it? Like, this will be one of the first like actual proper cars I've bought for myself because I've just had a work car.
Yeah.
For so long. So it was like, oh cool, I don't have to think about it, don't have to worry about it. But this time, like, I either have to like go through like, you know, Facebook Marketplace and risk buying a fucking lemon. Like, oh god, we had a lemon scenario before. Oh man, everyone listening at home didn't know the drama we went through with the camera. We could probably do a whole little segment on that thing.
Yeah. Like, that'll get its time in the spotlight, I reckon.
Yeah, that'll get its time to shine. That was still one of my most like heart-wrenching moments. Anyway. But yeah, so like, do I either A, buy it off like Facebook Marketplace,
yeah,
B, go to like a second-hand dealership, or like C, which is easily the least favourable outcome for me, is like buy it new. Like, for me, buying it new is like already off the cards. I don't see the value in it. As soon as I take it out of that shop, I've lost, you know, 5-6K. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, you can buy second-hand cars with like absolutely no Ks at all. So it's like, well, you know, I feel like it's just not the right thing to do.
Yeah, like, definitely buying it new, unless you're a millionaire. No. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace, it's and like /Gumtree and whatever. I think you need to do some research. You need to vet like the person who owns it, because as how I see it, I don't know much about cars, but like I feel like I know a tiny bit. Like, any car can be good, but if it's been looked after, like, it depends what the owner's done before. Like, if they thrashed it, you know, did doughies on like or every roundabout, or if they just, like, you know, never fed it like good oil or did anything, the engine will be dud pretty quickly. But
yeah,
you know, if they love this thing, they massage this car, they kiss it before it goes to sleep, like, then the car could pretty much kick for like could be on 200 Ks and be able to kick.
No problem. Yeah. And I guess the Ks part actually brings up the interesting question between the SUV and a hatchback, you know, big car versus small car.
Yeah.
Buying SUVs with low kilometres is a nightmare. Really hard to do.
Oh, no.
Like, I know you've been looking for a Subaru Forester. They all have at least like 200 Ks.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how am I going to find one with like, I'm aiming for like sub 100. Like, that'd be nice for me. And like, in all the SUVs, they're like within my price bracket. It was like, and they're still much more expensive than a hatchback. We're all like way more like used, even though they were still newer cars. Like, it just must be the type of car that just get driven more.
Yeah, I think it's the engine, man. Like, for some reason, I'd always thought growing up that, you know, obviously the more Ks on a car, the more it's travelled. But I always thought, like, if a car got to 100 Ks, like, it was done for. Like, you know, it's old. Like, it can't be used. But seeing like a few different like Yeah, especially like 4-wheel drives. Some have like 300, 400 Ks.
Yeah,
It's like,
crazy.
what's going on with this thing?
Like, how has it gone that far?
Yeah, and
Like-
it's just like about the engine, I think. Like, just how, if you maintain it.
Yeah. Man, like, I think the problem is we just don't know much about cars.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is very much like an absolute novice car buyer's guide. But also, I guess it's a similar situation a lot of people find themselves coming across.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a good question. I mean, yeah, like the whole process is super stressful. The whole time you're like, oh, like if I don't jump on this one, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
And you're like, but do I really want it? You know, it's not a small investment of money
No,
either. Like you really got to know that you want it.
You're giving like, probably at our age, probably like, oh, it depends how much you buy, but like you're giving like at least 2 to 6 months worth of income.
Yeah, just
It's
the four
like
wheels.
handing it like that, and there's like, if you're buying it off Facebook Marketplace, there's no real warranty. You can be like, you can't be like 2 months down, like, hey dude, car don't work, like, want money back. It's like, alright, I knew that, I sold it to you for that reason.
That's
like,
why it's on Facebook Marketplace. Then you got to go through the stressful thing of like figuring out what to do with that thing.
yeah.
Oh man.
But then like dealerships, I feel like dealers are just sleazy, like they're just out to get you
And
somehow.
And you're always paying a bit more. Like
Yeah.
you go on Facebook Marketplace, they're like, well, like a good like I'd say almost like $5 to $6 grand less. Go on carsales.com, which I find is way more like dealership type stuff. The prices are jacked up so much, and they don't even include the GST. So you can just add like another little expense onto that, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I think, like, I know my cousin bought a car recently, and I think a good market is, like, old people that probably can't drive or don't drive as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because these cars haven't been thrashed. Like, if you're buying a car off a red P-plater, you know this car's seen some sides, like, it's been tested, whatever. But, like, an old person, they probably just use it to drive to and from the shops.
Yeah.
To the pool. So, like, you know this car's, like...
Sunday church.
Yeah, it hasn't been destroyed.
Yeah.
And usually, like, if you can barter a good deal, you can sometimes find...
There's a tissue box up the back of the car still there when you buy it.
It's got that smell to it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you buy it from P-Play, there's, like, some Macca's, like, containers, like, one of the wheels is actually broken, the rim is not there, and it's like, oh, no, man, just, I'd take 200 off.
Oh man, it's a strange journey that's fraught with, you know, quite a bit of danger.
Yeah. Like, the process of buying it alone is hard, but then buying it and then, like, I think you need it, you can't just go and assess it, right? Like, I feel like you need someone who knows a car.
Bro, like I imagine if I was like, hey, come help me check out this car. Like, what are our two brains going to be able to figure like, oh, open it, like, yes, it has an engine.
I like the colour.
It's shiny. Like I think that counts for something.
Yeah.
Drive fast.
No, it's...
I think you can actually do like a hire service or actually hire someone to come out, which could be handy for like spitballing through like a few like quick problems.
Mm.
But yeah, man, like it's just like we need a mechanic friend.
Yeah. I like usually... Well, I actually never bought a car, but like I feel like if you're buying a car, you can just be like, hey, alright, I want to buy this. I'm going to lock it in, but let me just take it to my mechanic first. If they say no to that, there might be something shady happening.
Yeah.
Because like if they just want to like, some people just want to like, you know, like just give you the car. Like I saw this ad last night for like Subaru Forester. Like it looked pretty nice, like maybe 6,000, and the guy was like, it was pretty dodgy. It was just like, need to get rid of this quick. Like I was like, fuck man, like is this yours? Like. What am I buying into here? Like, I don't know. But then, like, those are the people that you can buy, like, get a good deal off sometimes.
Which is so cheap.
You don't know, like...
Yeah. And it's just a throw of the dice, really.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that was a good question. And, like, I'll keep everyone up to date with how my car buying adventures go. But, yeah, I'm looking, like, I reckon within the next month, I'll have a Hyundai i30.
Well, there you go, folks. Well, in a month's time, we'll be, doing a video of the car.
Of me rocking down the side of the road, like, oh man.
I can see you get your car. The next, like, in 2 weeks' time, like, we just see you get in the bus everywhere. You're like, I don't want to talk about it.
We'll record an episode on the bus, just to really rub it in. Oh man, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And yeah.